Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here, and welcome to my channel. I realized it has been a while since I did an update on Mollywood. It got moved in mid-June, and at that time, I removed all of the sand. 6 weeks later, it is looking pretty fabulous, I have to say. So let's go on a little point and shoot tour. Previous to the move, fragged the weepy toadstool. Check it out, it is coming back. I also fragged the gorgonian shortly before the move, and it's completely healed over and starting to grow again. The mushrooms are still trying to take over the world. They're killing off this torch, and I really can't do anything much about it. These zoanthids are all really filling in nicely. Finally, there is the sunset montipora starting to encrust really well. I, as always, have a frag rack with assorted things on it. And look at this, this is a Miyagi tort. It was a very tiny nub. Wasn't even 1/4 of an inch. I stuck it on here and I thought, what the heck, I'll see what happens, and look at it. I would say now it's at least a 1/2 inch tall, and check out the encrusting and the polyp extension, it's awesome. This Pectinia frag that I've been holding on to for a friend, hoping to see her in the fall at the Niagara Coral Show. So we'll see what happens there, but Kathy, it's doing well. Down here, the Reefgrrl growing like mad. I have to fasten this Zoanthid frag down. I have a spot picked out, I just haven't got to it yet. Purple candy cane has been busted off a couple of times from where I had it, and I'm going to be moving it. I know where it's going, just haven't got to it yet. Rastas over here are doing fabulously well. I can't remember what this one is, gobstopper maybe, or pink hippo, but it's finally starting to grow. The purple monsters, I keep cutting them back away from the Bam Bams, and they still keep encroaching. So it's just going to be a matter of ongoing trimming, I think. The citrus rhodactis that walked off of the frag plug, it actually split and it ended up here. It's stuck there, so I guess I'll leave it there. I've got sponges going on over here. Even though these rocks were out of the water, all of these sponges survived and they're still growing. Maybe that's contributing to the water quality in here, I don't know, but there are a lot of sponges in this tank. This is actually, you can't really see it, doesn't look like much. It's a nub from the weepy toadstool, and I kind of rescued it from a power head. It escaped from the original fragging, and I found it stuck to a power head, pulled it off, left it sitting somewhere in some water for probably a week. I finally decided just to see what I could do, and it actually is attached in a divot in this little frag plug. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. There is another citrus rhodactis that walked off its plug, and now I finally have it attached to that rock. Back here, my orange and green and brown chalice was not doing well in the other tank, so I put it in here because I really didn't have a good spot for it over there. And now, check it out. Will you look at this? This is my little tiny scolie that just kept getting kicked around in the other tank, and it looks amazing. So obviously it likes the water quality in here, it likes the light it's getting and the flow and everything. Beside it is my orange scenerena. It also has been kicked around a lot, and I was concerned at one point I was going to lose it. I put it here hoping that it could just recover, and look at it, it really has. It's doing extremely well. Got a little bit of damage on this side, but overall, when you look at it, it's looking gorgeous. My green Yuma is almost ready to walk off the rock that it's on. I've put it in this really low flow area, hoping it will reattach. So I guess we'll see. This is the marble favia. I apologize, the glass is dirty here. I'm unable to reach this spot because I have this container of chaetomorpha algae. I do need to move it along and clean the glass, but for now I've left it here. It has tripled in size since I put it in here. Maybe it's also contributing to the water quality in this tank. Not really sure, but I plan to try and nurture it through and bring it along to when I set up my new tank so that I can start my new chaetomorpha growing when the time comes. So the marble favia, back to that, was very badly damaged because it got knocked upside down, face first into the sand by the green wrasse, and it is coming back. I may not ever recover these heads, and they're growing a little algae, as you can see. But check it out, the growth is amazing considering how badly damaged it was. There's my peppermint shrimp coming out to see what I'm doing. Probably thinks he's going to get fed. And behind him, I don't know if you can see them very well, but there are more sponges back in here. And considering this whole rock was right out of the water, I'm amazed the sponges survived at all. Coming around the corner, the utter chaos finally are starting to spread onto the rock. And, ooh, what's that? I don't know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. That's an emerald crab. And these zoanthids are also finally starting to grow. For so long they were shaded out, and that's when I fragged the gorgonian because it was just shading this whole entire area. And once they got some light, they started to grow more here. That is a Season's Greetings Montipora that I've just placed here. I don't know whether it will encrust or not. It's not glued down. Here are some more zoanthids that are starting to be encroached on by the clove polyps. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Clove polyps, by the way, can be really invasive when they're happy. They have walked all across this whole rock from here. That's the original frag plug right there. And the toadstool shaded them out so badly I thought I was going to lose them, but check it out. They're spreading all across here. So word to the wise, oh, there's a sponge. Sorry. Word to the wise, clove polyps, yes, invasive when they're happy. The bounce mushroom. This is a sun-kissed bounce. I don't have any bounces on it. The color on it is becoming quite beautiful, but I don't know if I'm going to get any bounces back on it. So we'll have to see what happens with that one. It was fairly expensive, and I might be the first person in the history of the world to actually de-bounce a bounce mushroom. Here's my $10 Reefgrrl. I got this at the KW Coral Show, November of 2019, and there's probably 4 or 5 on this plug. I do believe it is attached to the glass. I have not been able to move it lately. I used to be able to just move it with the pipette. Can't move it anymore. This piece of war coral broke off somewhere else, don't remember where, and it's just kind of resting here until I figure out what to do with it. And check out the acanthophilia. This thing has 2 mouths. Amazing. And there's my button scolie. Also got kicked around majorly in the other tank. So I moved it in here, tucked it inside this sort of little area, and it loves it. It's gotten huge. And I don't know what this ripple in the skirt is about. I don't know whether there's another bud forming under there. Apparently they don't really do that, so we'll see. And another frag rack with pieces of Montipora on it. I had been planning to mount those on the rocks in the holding tank, and I decided against it because I couldn't decide where to put them. So I thought rather than just stick them somewhere, I would put them on frag plugs and give it some time and either trade them in at the LFS or maybe later at some point once I figure out what I want to do, I might put them in the other tank. One thing I didn't mention was this sunburst Montipora. In spite of the mushrooms going crazy, I hate those things. I won't ever have them again. If you want a tank full of nothing but green mushrooms, this is the thing to go for. I don't. They've traveled all the way across there. I did not realize they would spread like that. So again, it's how you learn, right? I'm down to approximately 6 mollies, maybe 6, maybe 7. I've lost count. The other tank has 3. I'm getting low in numbers when it comes to mollies. I'm just going to let them die out and then decide what to do. I might put clownfish in here, not really sure yet. Let's zoom in under here and take a look at my Symphilia. Another coral that absolutely loves being in Mollywood. I just can't believe how fluffy the tissue is, how well it's growing. And so whatever it is in here about the water quality or the flow or the light, I really don't know. It's lit by a single AI prime. And I don't know, it blows me away how beautiful it's looking and how it's actually getting bigger. Then I've got my Mycedium Chalice back here, and it's just kind of living there. At some point I will have a space big enough in the new tank for it to grow out. It is really a cool looking coral. It's very aggressive. It has 6-inch tentacles that come out when it's near something that it doesn't like. I've never seen them in here. They were always out in the other tank when I had it there. So maybe it hasn't found anything it doesn't like yet. And we can't forget the pulsing xenia. Yeah, they are growing up this rock. Periodically I do take my tweezers and pull them off the rock. They are attached at the bottom there. And I've scraped some off here. I do like them, but I'm hoping to confine them to this area. These I will be removing from this statue because they're overgrowing the Cyphastria. You can see the Cyphastria is doing pretty good. It's part of the Cyphastria project. This is the one that was pretty successful. I'll actually show you that. I don't really have a good angle. Oh, there we go. It is spreading. And there's my fire shrimp hanging out, waiting for the food. It's almost feeding time. There's the second peppermint shrimp. This one stays a little more hidden. These are 2 of the 3 that I added to this tank when I noticed more Aptasia about 6 or 8 months ago. There's the side view, and there's the other side view. And there is a weepy toadstool frag that's on reserve for Sharbuckle's Reef. Once again, hopefully we can meet up at the Niagara Coral Show this fall. That is your tour of Mollywood on August the 2nd, 2020. Thanks for watching.